hello. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. All right, y'all. So, I'm gonna do this life path reading for life path 4. All right, this is for life path 4. Now, life path 4, you guys typically, one of the things that's really important and imperative for you to always remember is structure, right? It's not, and not only structure in regards to discipline, but also the physical aspects of what it is that will go on to with them for you. Okay, so you got to pay that some attention. Also, what it is that you pay attention to even make something a structure, or even for creating an ideal set is really what that's giving me right now. Okay, like path 4. So pay attention to that, and in addition to it, during this reading, we're gonna go over some things it is that you could have going on, as well as some things it is that could be taking place with you currently, and what some of those outcomes could or would be. All right. All right. So, of course, not all readings are going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, that is okay. That is okay. That simply means that this reading isn't for you. And if it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go. Just because that's how you want it doesn't mean it will be so. If it don't fit, don't force it. All right, don't force it, ladies and gentlemen. But if it does, don't ignore it. All right, be honest with yourself. You know, this is a reading on a general scale, so it's going to apply to a lot of different people. You'll get a lot of different messages that can and will come out of what I will say is, if the card, right, indicates a zodiac sign, we may address it, we may not, but we're realistically going to be talking about the qualities of what it is that would be going on. All right, all right. Oh, so all right, the balance and act, the balancing and the justice that comes within one person looking in, being isolated as a judgment. That's one of them. The other portion of it is what judgment is. Justice, law, and judgment. And to be under spiritual law and spiritual judgment. Yeah. Oh, it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference that comes into place with, yep, one being codependent. Some of this is going to be talking about codependence, or it could even be talking about interdependence, and what goes on with a person not being single, and what it is that would have taken place 9 years ago. And then there being a spiritual connection, and what it is to be a part of the spiritual connection, spiritual community, and to look in the mirror. One of the things that's coming to me so much right now, y'all, is when a person will look in the mirror. Yeah, what happens in the whole mirror and mirror magic aspect. Yeah, and it's given, yeah, kind of giving the whole fetch situations that could come into place, and scrying. Okay, so life path forward, what this is giving is that you would be pay attention to what it is that happens when you look in the mirror, what it is that you say to yourself is kind of what that's given. Yeah, because even in regards to one not looking in themselves, one not looking in themselves, and one not looking at themselves. And the codependence on spiritual connections. Yep. And how one would have been codependent on the spiritual connections, being a tyrant and being out of emperor essence. This is a lot of major arcana that's coming up, but also, yeah, how certain people wouldn't be connected to others. And then there's Queen of Swords, and the negativity. Okay, so I heard mediumship. Okay, so if you're on a life path 4 and you're a medium, oh, you poor thing. Yeah, because mediumship is one of those more difficult gifts to balance out, primarily because you have to keep reminding you, yeah, you have to stay grounded. You have to stay really grounded, not only to nature, but to who you are. Yeah, because sometimes they'll try to show you what it is they would have, they'll show you what it is they have been through. Yeah, and depending on heritage and bloodline, with them showing you what it is they would have been through, it'll be they'll either show you through different situations manifesting around you, or they'll show you through you. That's gonna be whether or not you're a reactionary sign though. Cause yeah, it'll be and with Mars being retrograde, yeah, and Mars would have went retrograde, and when Mars would have been retrograde in Cancer and Leo. So pay attention to the different judgments it is that would have came into place, judge and juries, yeah, all of that kind of stuff. And then being an ex, okay, if you talking about judge and jury, that'll be about being an ex lawyer, being a lawyer, retired, you know, judges. You also would be really taking into consideration female pilots. I'm saying pilot pilot, and but I'm saying pilat, in short, being what you like. Lite, light. Hmm. No, because it would be lite. In short, the whole aspect of what constitutes as light work not being light work, and then there being an expansion. Okay, there being an expansion and there being movement, and what it is for there to be movement within one not being recognized, not having a paycheck, and not waiting for there to be a death, an end, or a transformation. Not waiting for the end, not waiting for Scorpio essence. Okay, life path 4, you want to know what this is giving me? I just heard it's a lot of Christian connotations. Yeah, why do you have to wait to die to go to heaven or to have heaven? A lot of people, like, yeah, you'll be amazed the people who push that agenda. Um, the people who would push that agenda, they typically have a lot, while the people that are pushing that agenda to don't have anything. It's more so about spreading the good news opposed to spreading, yeah, and it's not good news. Death is not good news in regards to a lot of ways that things would happen. Yeah, but if you're the type of person like me at a funeral is horrible. It is, because I'm gonna be cracking jokes and everything, and it's not necessarily because I think that it's funny or anything, but you're supposed to go into it. You're supposed to be able to send the spirit off with good essence, so it feels comfortable, right? With crossing over and meeting the other loved ones. Okay, so the journey from one realm to the next, right, is heard you coming through the murder of crows. Well, that's one of the. In short, a lot of people. What I'll say in regards to that is, yes, it's coming through the murder of crows. Also, you need to pay attention to what your actual spirit animal is, because not every spirit animal will allow for you to utilize its magical properties with being able to see and have a lot of different explanations and things of that nature uh, for spirit travel within the whole crow aspect, right? Yeah, crows journey between the two realms. They typically really don't like messing with nothing or nobody. If we're gonna be honest with you, if you look at the true nature of a crow, it likes being off to itself. It has its people that it kick it with, but that's about it. Now they will gang up on a person, right? Or they will gang up on an animal, but that's because they have the intelligence of a human, of like a 7 year old human. And that's just one of its features, right? And there in itself, it would entail, according like to zodiac sign, everything from the infant essence all the way up to, is that Cancer? Like Gemini or Cancer essence. So like astral travel, depicting uh where its territory would be, making sure it's stable, and having intelligence. And within having the intelligence, yeah, of who would threaten or what they would need to defend. So life path forward, what that's given is that you need to collect information, yeah, in regards to like what your area is. Yeah, and make the phrase "minding your business" is a full-time job. In short, making sure that you're taken care of, and you got everything decent in order. It takes a lot out of you, even if you are going to work, and it's especially so if you're an entrepreneur of any sort, right? You really have to make sure you take care of yourself. One of the things that's kind of coming to me is Russell Simmons. Um, Despite the controversy, I don't want to talk about the controversy that came into place with it. I just want to highlight something that was that he did while he was in the office. He would meditate and stuff like that while he was in the office, and he would keep a particular ambiance while he was in the office. Yeah, and creating and everything. So being mindful of that as well. It is something about us St. Louis women, ain't it? So there's that portion. The other part of it, right, is in regards to this whole lovers and courtships. Pay attention to in the contractual aspect of what it is to be fair. What it is to be fair. And the whole transitions aspect. Transitions and transitioning aspect with knowing what the spiritual connections are, and how one's spiritual connections would be a tyranny or would cause tyranny in regards to the expansion and how it is one would move. What is given is, yeah, you can't. If you had an older father, because this is what this is given. Yeah, because it's also given some kind of like the whole Black Widow essence that could come into place. But what it is given is a dominating older father. And also patron saints. Oh yeah, also pay attention to the patron saints it is that are coming up around you. Yeah, because I said it before and I'll say it again. They're called patron saints, meaning they receive some sort of compensation. And the more that you look into things like Knights Templar and stuff like that, you see that they actually, yeah, that they had bread, they had money, and things of that nature. And yeah, it was just stored out to the side. Now within the lovers courtship, right, and being a main female and marriage. One of the things, yeah, when you court is when you're courting life path for, yeah, whether this is for business and whether you have the mentality for it is realistically, yeah, because it's one of those uh different seeds that would have been planted as to, yeah, the whole till death situation. And one would have been out of their mind in the expanding how it is that one would move without there being recognition. Incognito. The whole incognito aspect, the end of the you can't see me situations. And there being an expectation. Oh, okay. There being an expectation that comes, or certain expectation that comes with a person being a lover in a courtship. Life path 4, one of the things that you really need to pay attention to is what will make you stable in that, in different courtships, because courtships, even if you're talking about in the business aspect, that would be like part-time work, right? How one would do something part-time and be a part-time lover. Knight of Wands, one being able to rush in with their inspiration. Okay. And then you got the devil on the other hand, or the ambition. And this is what's clearing out in the ambition within one waiting. It's about how one waits. How do you wait? Yeah, not how much you weigh. How do you wait? And that's what patience is. It's about just taking deep breaths and just letting whatever needs to happen and clear out and all that other good stuff. And the influence of there being good news in regards to how one would have juggled in the movement aspect, how a person would have been juggled, and how they would have juggled a Queen of Pentacles death. Or transparency. Oh, I heard transparency. Okay. Yeah, how a person would have, would have had it be that two seeds are planted for two people to see it, not just one, but two. One of the things that I can say, right, that I can attest to, because when you apply this to technology, it's gonna be about uh mirror phones, how a person would mirror a person's phone, and then the other portion of it will be about, it will be 2 years of one being emotionally and financially stable in the death and in the transparency, going to the other side. Okay, I would like to say this. Yeah, because what I just heard is about the whole transmuting death. Life path 4, yeah, because it don't have to be what, if you think that's what it has to be for you, that's what it has to be for you. But it's so much more to Scorpio essence and the occult aspect that will come into place with this. And it's one of those, within one not having an inheritance or a paycheck and not waiting. Yeah, it's one of those, how a person wouldn't have all those things, so they might as well just die. If that's how you feel about it, that's how you feel about it. Yeah, not everybody feels that way. If one's self-worth, if you feel that your self-worth is attached to how much money it is you bring in, that's a you problem. Life path 4, you're gonna have to get that together. You can't eat money. What? You can't, but you can utilize it, and it's a very valuable resource in order to purchase food. Do you get what I'm saying with that? I hope you understand what I'm saying with that. Orca, whale, or adventure. Yeah, I'm gonna get these animal cards real quick for you. The squirrel, loon, giraffe. Don't speak giraffe language to turtle people. That's the wisdom. All right. Squirrel, loon, giraffe, swan, eagle. And play things close to your chest. Eagle, mastery, eagle, deer, and bee. Right? Yeah, because the B card came out in the reverse, and I know I'm to read them in the upright, but what it's indicating is in the wisdom of the wasp, anger and jealousy. So it wouldn't be about like what happens if a bee gets with a wasp. It's kind of what I'm getting from that, or a wasp and yeah gets into, or a hornet gets into a bee's nest. Oh yeah, yeah. If this is talking about like baseball and basketball and shit like that, pay attention to those aspects too. Life path 4. All right. But yeah, so the squirrel. I'm going to read these, and after I read these, I'm going to give an overall essence, and hopefully it'll help you guys out, and seal the reading, and hopefully it'll help you guys out, right? Squirrel, always prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distraction take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need. Loon intuitives, right? Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. Giraffe or visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self worth and love with a big heart. Swan or grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and gift. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. The eagle or mastery. You are a spiritual journey. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. Dear or love. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self worth and grace, and be community. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Okay, so yeah. So one of the things that is coming into place with this, right? All of these different animals have a different, not only eating what they feed from, but they also have different environments in which they thrive in, right? You won't catch a swan in the same space as a giraffe, if that makes sense. Yeah, because some of this is given like African zodiac and stuff like that. So, however, this comes into place with you, just the same as you would find like a loon in a swamp, possibly, but you wouldn't find a giraffe in a swamp or a squirrel. You get what I'm saying? And the difference in layout and all that stuff, right? Especially when you have orca being an underwater aquatic animal. So pay attention to what's going on in your environment is ultimately what this giving me. Items and things of that nature. Yeah, items, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. So it's that part. The other portion of it, overall essence, right? With daring to do things differently, sing your wild song, manifest your travel dreams, attempt the great journey with confidence, be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. As an expectation, one being more powerful when it is better when you wait. And the karmic aspect, yeah, because it's coming to me. When Cardi B says he comes more when I see him less. That's one of the, yeah, it's the whole deprivation and starving that would or could come into place within and finding a balance within the communications. Okay, so I'm gonna seal this reading, and hopefully close and seal this reading, and hopefully this helps you guys out just a little bit, gives you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that will be going on. If you like to schedule your own personal touch of clarity, you are more than welcome to do so at lightwork ain't lightwork llc at gmail.com. All right, because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work, and that's why you have to stay light while you work